Okay, so welcome back to our Wealth Building Journey podcast, where we dive deep into the strategies, stories, and lessons that shape our journey to financial freedom. Again, I'm your host, Dennis Hilario, and with my co-host, Paul Familara, and today we're gonna explore, some updates and recent stock market, movement or drop, especially nung introduction nga nitong si DeepSeek AI from China. So, hi Paul, how are you?
I'm good, Dennis. How are you?
I am good. So, ano pa rin, very creative sa maraming mga ginagawa, no? Kasi I think alam naman natin we're doing this podcast as much as possible every week. Then I also have about health, 'di ba? So, one time nga
Yes.
sige, invite pala kita doon. And then
Actually, nanonood
yeah.
ako kanina kasi nire-review ko yung playground.
Oh yeah, okay. That's good.
Tapos nakita ko yung mga post nga na nilabas recently about ano. And maganda yung discussion, and your partner there
Yeah.
is very eloquent
Yes.
and learned in the health issues and health
Mm-mm.
information. So I'm
Correct.
really happy that that's going on. Magandang bagay yun na idagdag sa portfolio ng playground.
Oo nga, because health is one of the most important. Kahit na may wealth ka, 'di ba? Kung yung health mo
Health
is
is wealth.
exactly, health is wealth also. It's an investment, no? Yun. So apart from that, I'm going to do some productivity uh, episodes in my own podcast then. I'm gonna invite you there
Mm.
also. Kasi parang we're
Mm.
gonna invite entrepreneurs in terms of what are their productivity systems, no?
Yeah.
How they manage their business and what's their strategies in basically being productive, no?
Yes.
And then later on, I'm gonna invite also legal, mga legal naman, but more
Yes.
related to business, no? Mga business and legal topics naman. So, yeah, very exciting. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. So, just for the information of the audience, kung ngayon pa lang kayo nagjo-join sa amin, no? Dennis is in the Philippines and I'm here in New Zealand. So, nagtutulungan kami ngayon to share our journey in wealth building, and at the same time, guesting people who are experts in their fields
Mm.
about information on finance, wealth building, financial freedom, what have you, business, investment, because we want to share knowledge and empower our audience eventually to
Mm.
the path to build their wealth and financial freedom. So okay ako dito, Dennis. Maraming challenges kasi 2025 talaga is I have intentionally targeted a 10x approach,
Mm.
no, tawag ko 10x approach for all the endeavors that I'm working on, because especially as I think we in our meeting yesterday, really about being intentional to practice wealth building in
Mm.
any way. So we already have started a business, good businesses, but we have to multiply it
Right.
quickly.
Mm.
So yeah, 10x approach. Plus, on the real estate side, I have two properties in the Philippines. We're going back there in March to capitalize on the making it more
Productive.
productive,
Yeah.
no, rentals and everything, and look at other investments as well that we can work on, plus the projects we're looking at.
Mm. That's good to hear. So, yeah, looking forward to meeting you again in person after how many years?
Oo nga eh.
Puro
Oo nga, no,
video.
kasi hindi ako,
Mm.
COVID, hindi tayo nagkita, no. Last natin was
Uh,
having a dinner at Shangri-La,
Siyang, yeah.
di ba? This German
2019.
restaurant.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I remember. Was that
Mm.
2019 before COVID?
2019. Oh,
Oh.
November 2019, my last trip to the Philippines before
Mm-mm.
COVID. But I went back to the Philippines 2023 December because of personal reasons,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
really quickly.
Right. Oh, hindi tayo nagkita doon. Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So, that's good. Let's dive deep na dun sa main topic natin kasi medyo controversial to, no? And related
Mm.
also to our uh, topic about investments, specifically yung mga stocks, no? So
Especially
siguro,
kung may investments ka sa
oh,
ganitong sector, di ba?
right, right. Oh. Siguro, can you give us like a quick overview of what happened, with the introduction or launching of this DeepSeek AI from China and yung
Mm,
effect nito sa stock market, particularly sa Nvidia, no?
mm. So backgrounder, no, the story was yesterday and today. Hanggang ngayon actually, may news about the stocks of Nvidia fell
Mm.
by 17%. Pero yung
Mm.
17% yun because $3 trillion market capitalization ang Nvidia. So any down sa market niya malaking effect.
Mm.
So about 600 billion was lost yesterday in
Okay.
capitalization. So ibig sabihin kung meron kang, let's put numbers in it, no, 100,000 pesos for example in Nvidia invested, you lost 17,000 automatically. So
Mm.
kung bumili ka at 95 pesos, sorry, 9,500 yung pera mo nang binili mo siya, so kumita ka ng 5,000 at 100,000, and then bumagsak na naman ng 83,000 yung
Mm.
pera mo, talo ka on
Mm.
paper. So
Mm.
until it gains back. So again, background from this background is I was following last week, no, the introduction of DeepSeek. DeepSeek is a Chinese AI um, platform program that was released. It's an open platform AI program that was developed by a Chinese laboratory,
Mm.
no, in AI research.
Mm.
And then lahat ng mga lumabas na testing, benchmarking, and capabilities niya were done better, lumabas mas magaling pa sa OpenAI's ChatGPT. And it's
Mm.
actually equivalent to ChatGPT 4.0. So
Mm.
pag ganun ang situation, ibig sabihin, parang meron ng kalaban ang China. So, sorry, may kalaban ng US at
US.
China, no?
Yeah.
Na develop. So, ano na yon, issue na, threatening situation para sa Amerika. Ang isa pang threatening issue doon and bakit related siya kay Nvidia was nung dinevelop nila yung program, sabi nila, based dun sa papers na nilabas nila, again, hindi ito papers lang na ni-report. No? These were tested kasi nga open source yung platform. So, tinest din siya ng mga IT
Mm.
sa AI industry para malaman kung totoo yung claim dun sa papers na nilabas ng DeepSeek. So
Mm.
na-test nila, lumalabas on overall categories, hindi naman lahat, pero majority of the categories of benchmarking tests were better yung DeepSeek.
Mm.
So ang surprising story dito is that DeepSeek was, sabi dun sa claim dun sa paper na ni-release was that instead of building that AI research and platform and all these algorithms that they've created, they were able to produce it at less amount, less cost compared to the
Mm.
US businesses like OpenAI.
Mm.
In context, $6 million lang daw nagamit nila
Mm.
para magawa yung kanilang AI.
Right.
Whereas for OpenAI, ang na-budget nila doon, ang nagastos na nila doon, and they're budgeting pa more. So from the learning stage, testing stage lang, module testing, language testing pa lang, and research, 100 million na. Pero the whole company, more than a billion na yung kanilang ginagastos. So how
Mm.
can a small laboratory can do this using their own algorithms na sobrang galing, mas better pa yung lumalabas na result, no?
Right.
Plus,
Mm.
siyempre 'pag nag-test ka ng AI, kailangan meron kang data sets na kinukuha, na ginagamit. So saan nila
Mm.
kinuha yung data? Baka sa
Mm.
TikTok, 'di ba?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
whatever. So hindi natin alam kung saan nila nakuha, pero meron silang data na it can converse in English and everything, no, properly. Hindi ko pa nate-test, meron daw lumabas na beta phase na, hindi naman beta phase pero sample, hindi ko pa nasusubukan. But it is better. Now,
Mm.
another backgrounder of that backgrounder is that NVIDIA chip that was used on the testing in the creation of this AI platform, DeepSeek, they only used the NVIDIA H800 na GPU, no? So, yung chip na ginamit nila is cheaper
Minimal.
than the ones that being used by the OpenAI group, H100. Yung H800, kaya yun ang ginagamit nila kasi merong embargo or bawal ibenta ng Taiwan Semiconductors yung version na yun, yung H100, yung high-end, sa China. Kaya wala silang hawak na gano'n. But, marami ng speculation. Sabi, baka naman meron sila na itago na nila, nakabili na sila before, no? Pero hindi dapat available sa kanila. So the claim was they were using a lower version. So mas slower na GPU kesa sa fastest GPU available na ginagamit ng American company. And another backgrounder to that backgrounder is 2 or 3 days ago or last week in essence, nagkaroon ng announcement si Trump. Remember that they are creating this Stargate program, a $500 billion program about AI, so that they'd be ahead in the race, the worldwide race of creating the best AI program for productivity in the world. So ang mga partners na nandun is si SoftBank, si OpenAI, si NVIDIA. So SoftBank supports the funding, pati si BlackRock Insurance. Nandun din si OpenAI, which provides the design, and then NVIDIA for the infrastructure, no, yung chips. Then other partners pa na maliliit, no. Pero it's a big endeavor para mauna raw sila. Tapos after a week, lumabas, nauna na pala yung China.
Yeah,
So,
pinakang disruption dun talaga is the cost di ba? Yeah.
Yes, kaya nung kinumpare yung cost, tinamaan yung kung bakit, anong rason bakit mahal yung para gawin, kasi yung infrastructure, yung chips. So ngayon naapektuhan si Nvidia.
Parang
Kasi yung mga investors natakot, parang ba't pa ako mag-i-invest sa'yo na naggagawa ka ng maraming chips na mahal, na high-tech, yung pala pwede naman gawin ng cheaper. So lahat ng mga AI-related investments, but basically more on the infrastructure because of the word Nvidia was spoken there.
Correct.
All the investors.
Yeah. But was there like historical, event before related to that na influence yung by competition and innovation in the AI space?
Oh, yeah, marami actually. So we'll just give examples of itong mga American companies din, no? And from the research that we've come up with 3 major. So one is Apple's privacy change in 2021 nung in-implement nila yung privacy, nung in-update nila yung privacy feature nila.
iOS 13 ata yun o 14, something like that.
I can't remember. May 2021 iOS 13. Ano. So yung tracking transparency nila na app was affected.
Yeah, affected din yung mga ads buyer dun media buyers.
Correct. So nagkaroon ng issues kasi normally, of course, naka-Apple phone ka, ano yung pinakamataas na ginagamit na app doon sa Apple is Facebook, which is owned by Meta. So yung capacity or capability ng Facebook was affected, especially for the advertisement. In effect, so ano nangyari, yung mga investors, yung stock ng Facebook fell over 20%. Over 20% on a high market cap. So ang laki nawala na pera sa kanila.
Yeah, kasi like myself, no, I was directly affected by that. Kasi I'm buying ads in Facebook. I started 2020. Actually, even before, pero I was more aggressive in 2020 when I introduced my courses, no. And at that time when I started, yung purchase conversion ko ba, natatrack ko properly. Pero then when they introduce it, yun nga, since maraming iPhone users sa Pilipinas, hindi ko na properly natatrack talaga yung purchases kasi yung mga iOS users hindi nagre-register dun sa tracking ko ng purchases ng course,
Mm.
no? So in
Mm.
effect, ang interpretation ng Facebook doon or ng Meta is that walang bumibili ng course.
Mm.
Pero in reality, madaming bumibili, hindi lang nare-register sa Meta.
I
So that's
see.
the main impact noon, and it applies to all advertisers, no, to this day. May mga
Mm.
workaround ngayon na ginagawa, introduce na conversion API ni Meta, pero hindi pa rin siya 100% na compared to before, no.
Oo. Actually, yun yung mga effect ng technology. Kasi, again, business, if it's connected to technology, when technology changes, if it upgrades or gets better, of course it's affected. When there's something that is not yet ready to be changed, but it's changed because of either government policy or what, may impact yon sa bottom line ng business. Especially, yun nga, stock market is merely speculation and trust, confidence on the business itself. So naapektuhan yung mga owners ng stocks. Either they sell a part of it or they sell the whole of it, and then no one's buying. So the prices gets going down again. Law of supply and demand. Bumababa yung demand. Bumababa rin yung presyo. So another example was Tesla's stock went down by 15% nung nagkaroon ng, alam mo naman si Elon, mahilig mag-tweet, di ba? So nag-tweet siya, dati, okay, you can buy Tesla using your Bitcoin. Ha 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 ha, ha. Di ba? Ganyan siya. Tapos biglang, hindi na sila tatanggap ng Bitcoin to buy Tesla. So, bakit bababa yung stocks ng Tesla? Siyempre, noon, tumaas na siya, gumanda dahil tumaas yung trust. Tapos biglang parang nagkaroon ng innovation disruption negatively kasi parang tinanggap mo na yung innovation na pwede kang bumili using crypto tapos ngayon hindi mo na pwede ngayon bilhin. So ano nangyayari? Meron bang problema yung company? Meron bang issue, 'di ba? So bagsak din yung kanyang yung stocks niya. And another one in 2019, the one situation was, eto babasahin ko. The US government placed Huawei in an export blacklist. So, bawal bumili ng Huawei sa States na phone, no?
Yan. Mm-hmm.
O, meron pa bang Huawei sa States? Wala na talaga, di ba? Talagang blacklisted na, di ba? So, dati ang lakas nun, may opisina pa nga sila eh. Tapos, in-interview sa Senate inquiry yung Huawei CEO na babae, di ba? Ginagamit nyo ba yung phone nyo for spying? Kasi alam naman natin si Android at saka si iOS, they're spying on us for commercial purpose para maibenta nila yung information. But of course the privacy rules are there that you can say you do not, pero in small fonts lang yun. Hindi mo alam kung nag-oo ka na o hindi sa privacy mo, di ba? So what happens is that we're affected. So Huawei, being a Chinese company, was restricted in American companies from doing business, with this tech giant. So this caused major drops in stocks of US semiconductor. Yung kanyang components, si Qualcomm, Nvidia, kasali na rin, si Intel, kasali rin, which were the suppliers to Huawei. So American company. So stocks, this semiconductor stocks saw a decline of up to 10% because of this US-China tension. So, ang lesson dun is pag may geopolitical na issue din, kagaya nitong i-relate natin to kay DeepSeek. Although si DeepSeek is not about geopolitical per se, pero confidence of investors may affect the stock as well.
Yung bang recent issue ng TikTok, nagkaroon din ng effect sa stocks?
Yes, definitely. Pero because hindi naman siya let me see. Is ByteDance listed?
Yeah, si ByteDance, no.
Right? So ByteDance is listed, no? So ang nangyari diyan, let me just go to MSN. Now, ang nangyari diyan is that because TikTok was So the issue was in the last month before Trump will be inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States. Sabi nila, hindi maganda yung TikTok talaga sa mga bata. Na tapos because it's a Chinese company, it's spying on us or it's feeding us this algorithm that degrades the quality of people ng Amerika. And around the world, pareho lang yung algorithm na ginagamit around the world eh. Except for China. So China is not promoting yung mga sayaw-sayaw. Ang TikTok nila is may mga nagtuturo ng physics o ano, so talagang promotion use for better purposes.
Pero private pala siya, si ByteDance.
Yes, private company si ByteDance. So ibig sabihin may American company na counterpart, ByteDance USA. So that you can operate in America, 'di ba? So you have an American counterpart of your business. So the threat was it's either they shut down or they sell their company to an American or Canadian company or whatever, na Western company. So ginawa ni ByteDance, in-off niya. So blackout siya for one day. Naapektuhan ngayon.
Investor din ng ByteDance, ano?
Si SoftBank kasi ang pinakamagaling na investor ng mga technology. Investor siya sa lahat ng mga sumikat na technology, OpenAI, lahat yung mga yan, magaling siya mag-invest sa technology.
Yung anong pangalan niya, yung chairman nila?
It's a Japanese small guy. Hindi ko kabisado.
I think isang failure niya sa WeWork. Yung failure niya sa WeWork kasi si WeWork, 'di ba si Adam Newman na terminate siya dun sa WeWork because masyado siyang very eccentric guy, you know, na nag-expand sila ng super aggressive to the point na winawaldas nila yung pera and all that, and yung mga agreement nila sa mga lessor very nasa disadvantage position lagi sila. So finalish naman ng SoftBank, no? And then back in to COVID days when this happened yata, no? Pero to this day, I think buhay pa rin si WeWork. I just don't know if binenta nila sa another group, pero yun nga, I remember SoftBank is one of the major investors ng WeWork when they were very aggressive, no?
Ayan, naalala ko na, ito ni-research ko, si Masa ang tawag sa kanya sa States, si Masayoshi Son. Siya yung CEO ng SoftBank, and they have a 32.9 billion net worth.
Well, anyway, so kasi these things, no, we're talking about yung volatility ng in the stock market. Siguro one question or one thing that I'm curious about is ano ba yung driving factor nitong mga ganito, no? At saka sino yung major influencer ng mga investors when it comes to these events? Siyempre hindi naman yan na parang may kumbaga hindi naman sila sabay-sabay na siguro nagbebenta ng stocks pag may mga ganitong event. Somehow there's an influence by somebody, no? How does it work?
So let's look at the majority of stock buyers. These are not the retail people, no? Yung sinasabi, pag dinabing retail stock sales kasi, sa individual person binebenta. Most of the time, mga bangko rin ang bumibili niyan. Mga financial institutions, kasi nga pinagkikitaan din nila eh. So imagine mo, pag nawala yung interest nung isang financial institution, natatakot na siya kasi everyday yan pinagkikitaan nila eh. So nilalaro nila talaga yan. So pull out niya. Imagine mo pag nag-pull out ang isang malaking institution sa stocks niya, malaking effect talaga. Kaya pag nag-pull out ang, let's say, Deutsche Bank or Citibank sa isang investment, for example, or what have you, na malaking Hong Kong Bank, for example, sa isang investment na stock, malaki yung effect niya. Now, the influence that you're asking, mainly because the the interest of people, of investors, are looking forward, not at the present. So if they're afraid now, they believe it might move in the present. Baka dumati. Okay, again, let's look at how they play the money in the in stock market with this big investors, no. Let's say they have $100 million of investment in one stock. Siyempre, next week, gusto nila yung 100 million nila na investment maging 110 million. So, tumubo silang 10 million. Sample lang yon. I'm sure they're playing more. If next week, bumaba yung stock dahil maraming tao na hindi na interesado, pull outin ko na ngayon. At least yung 100 million ko, kahit 100 million lang, tubo na ako. Pag bumaba next week, balik na lang ako ulit. Bili ako ng mura.
Right. Ikaw ba, personally, you have share in, you have stocks in Nvidia?
Wala ako Nvidia. Hindi ako bumili ng Nvidia. Bumili ako Nvidia before binenta ko. So, I am not in the Nvidia, what do you call this, yung growth rate niya. Kasi late na rin naman ako pumasok sa Nvidia. I was looking at that but I was late. So, hindi ko na pinasok. Pero yung wife ko meron.
Okay. Pero, because of this sudden drop, do you think it's the best time to buy
Yeah,
Nvidia?
definitely. Simple mathematics. Bumagsak ng 17%. Tapos, let's say, aakyat siya ulit ng 17%. Di tumubo ka na ng 17%. Kumbaga, bumalik lang siya sa status quo. So, $1,000 of your investment will give you $170 immediately without doing anything. Pagbalik niya. Diba? So, as easy as that. So, if you look at it that way, may effect. Now, ngayon, tingnan natin ang Nvidia. Tumaas na 8%.
Mm.
So, kung bumili ka kahapon, tumubo ka na kagad na 8%. Ang laki nun, growth rate.
Yeah, invest ka ng 1 million, di ano yun? 80,000? Diba?
That's a big thing.
Mm. Pero yeah, that leads me to the question, what are like strategies or parang rule of thumb that can investors use to anticipate or respond to this kind of sudden changes?
So really, if you are interested in investing on high growth rate products or companies, be aware that it will also go down. Diba? So, it's either you hold, the strategy is hold, and then sell later pag kumita na ulit, or bantayan mo talaga yung news. Diba? So, follow the news, as I follow the news, but it happened to me as well before when I bought an expensive stock of, again, Tesla. I'm very bullish on that company. So, when it went down, it fell. So, ginawa ko, hinold ko na lang. Iniwan ko na lang. Hindi ko na binenta. Tapos, hinintay ko tumas. Ngayon, balik na naman ako sa positive. So, alam mo yun, ganun talaga eh. Pero kung talagang, kung yung pera kasi na yan na linagay mo sa stock market, pera na kailangan mo lagi, bantayan mo yung pera mo. Pero kung hindi mo siya kailangan, dahil pang future mo naman yan, okay lang yan. Okay lang yan. Pero bantayan mo pa rin, and, make sure that you move it immediately. Sell it, buy another one. So, nagbabantay ka rin talaga. So, the trend is always changing. And that's why it's important. If you look at the trend, I also look at the graph. Hindi ako trader na binabantayan ko every candlestick bumababa, tumataas. Any resistance or na lumalabas dyan. Pero, what I do is I always look at the trend. The graph will tell me. Dahil papakita naman sa graph, 1 day up, 1 day change, 5 day change, 1 month change, 1 year change, or 5 year change. So, kung gusto mo ng long-term behavior, 5 year change, tignan mo yung graph. Pag gusto mo ng short-term behavior, so, kung 1 year change, ano yung performance niya as of 29th January 2024 last year?
Yeah, okay.
Galing ba siya sa mababa? Mataas na siya ngayon? Ibig sabihin, may tendency. Then, basahin mo yung news. Tignan mo kung ano nangyayari. Tapos, o sige, kung first time ka pala mag-i-invest doon, meron pa ba itong chance ang tumaas? Kung wala, huwag ka na pumunta doon. Kasi sasayangin mo yung pera mo. Now, I also look at the price earning ratio, PE ratio. Anything above 50 is overpriced, or anything above 25 might be overpriced, pero depende rin yan kasi technology is also overpriced all the time kasi promising yan technology yan sa forward pa yan. Pero yung mga traditional na retail or what have you na businesses play around with the 25 PE ratio.
Yeah, it's a good point. If ever ba na, there's that, if ever you have stocks in Nvidia and you heard that news, will you be sharing it? Will you be selling it?
Will I be sharing at 17% down? Hindi. Titingnan ko muna. Baka bumili pa ako. Kasi, ibig sabihin nun, kung may stocks ako doon, bullish ako doon sa company na yun. Ibig sabihin, alam ko tataas yun ng todo.
Yeah, you're confident in
Diba?
space, yes.
Ngayon, yung mga kaya yan bumabagsak, again, let's talk about those who are investing and using it to play around with money so they can maximize the profit. So, kung hindi ikaw yung mga those type of institutions, retail buyer ka lang, then why not buy now? Bumaba, 17% pa lang di ba?
Correct.
So, bumili ka na. Tapos, kagaya nga, after a day, 8% ang up from that 17% dip. Dito mubo ka na doon sa binili mo currently.
Right.
Now, I still have a CRISPR which is at the moment 70% down na.
70.
Pero naka-hold pa rin ako doon. Bakit? CRISPR is a genetic sequencing company. And the purpose of that is to create that genetic sequencing so that they can come up with the right medicine approach to, well, for example, cancer cells treatment. So malaking purpose yung gusto nilang gawin. So bullish ako doon. Naglagay ako ng puhunan sa kanila para gumanda yung kumpanya nila. Kaya lang, hindi pa binibili. Pero may AI na AI health pumapasok na and everything. So pag ginamit nila yan, definitely boom, babalik yan doon. Tataas pa.
Does that mean, for example, one strategy, kasi nga, sabi nga natin, kung bullish ka talaga dyan, ang reason is because you analyze the trends of that particular company, talagang strong siya, no? This volatility sa market naman, it applies to all, no?
Correct.
Company can dip talaga, no? What
Yes.
we're saying here is that if you analyze the trends and nangyari tong dip na to, it doesn't equate to you always sell right away when no. So, ang trend talaga na after a few days or weeks you observe and tuloy yung dip, that's probably one indication to sell. Pero yun nga, kung particularly this particular news about the launching of DeepSeek, ano lang naman to, one-time event, ano. Most likely hindi naman siguro siya, Nvidia will do its best also to mitigate these things, no?
Well, pag-aralan natin and kailangan medyo deeper din yung understanding natin dun sa produkto ng Nvidia. Kasi Maaring mag-bounce back siya ng 8% ngayon, pero baka hindi niya na mahabol agad yung 17% dip niya by the next 3 days. Baka another month pa. Medyo mabagal din yung up. So dati, sobrang steep nung growth niya pag tinignan mo sa chart. Pero ngayon, hindi na ganun ka-steep kasi may kompetensya na lumalaban. 'Di ba?
So, sino ba yung competition na yon? Na-identify ba yung
Actually, sila rin yung competition nila eh. Kasi Nvidia H100 versus Nvidia 800.
Oh, okay. It's more of the same magkaibang version.
So, pero ang nangyayari, cannibalizing kasi parang meron ka ng lumang produkto tapos yung ginawa mo is kinakannibalize ka ng lumang produkto. So, hindi ka makakabenta ng bagong produkto, 'di ba? So, paano mag-grow yung produkto mo?
Ang nangyari lang siguro yung sa DeepSeek nakagawa sila ng way, better algorithm to maximize the lower versions of the chip, no?
Oh, actually pinakinggan ko yung I listened to 3 different interviews from different companies. Perplexity, tapos yung isa yung research in-interview ng Wall Street Journal, tapos ng ibang mga investment platform news. Ang nangyari talaga dahil sa limited yung resources nila, limited yung kanilang capabilities. So these smart people try to change the algorithm na nag-work sa kanila. And nung nag-work yun yung in-implement na nila. Kaya, normally daw, pag nag-testing ka ng model, tapos hindi nag-work, stop mo yung testing doon, hanap ka na naman ng ibang algorithm na mag-work. Pero sa kanila, apparently, kinontinue nila yung isang approach, tapos in-iterate nila, tapos nag-work. Kasi di ba ganun lang yun, pag nag-iterate ka ng isang process, either subukan mo, tapos nag-fail, palitan mo kagad, or continue mo kasi naniniwala ka na may pagkakataon pa. Because of the limited resources siguro pa sa kanila, i-push natin, pero ibahin lang natin ng konti yung questioning or what have you to test it. And then, it made it work. Kasi ang mga tinetest nila dyan, proficiency, yung accuracy ng information, yung capability to create programs, reasoning, 'di ba? Hallucinations sa AI, yun yung tinetest nila sa AI kung wala ba yung mga ganong items tumalabas.
Correct. Talagang mas naging efficient lang yung process siguro. At the same time, yung cost efficiency, as we all know, na labor cost sa China is, a lot lower than the US. That's why they are outsourcing factories in China, di ba?
Pero hindi majority yung people kasi yung people may group of people na nag-iisip siguro sweldo nila, baka mahal din demand ng sweldo sa Amerika, pero it's really the infrastructure kasi ang laki ng kailangan mo ng data infrastructure mahal yung pag-create ng mga servers na yun para mag-compute, yung computing factor na yun, infrastructure.
Well, I think ang major takeaway talaga dito at the end of the day, knowing na yung stock market, yung volatility ng stock market, given naman talaga na yan and the key takeaway here as an investor or probably an aspiring investor is that diversification really is the thing, no? So I think yun naman yun so hindi ka lang mag-invest sa stocks or stock market but also in other investment vehicle, di ba?
Pag sinabing diversification, ibig sabihin talaga meron ka ring nakalagay sa ibang industriya.
Yun.
No, hindi lang don't put your eggs in just one basket. So, meron akong narinig na strategy, no? Strategy ito sa stock market daw. Sabi niya, don't put all your investment in stock market. Put only 5%. Well, siguro pag ganun, marami siyang real estate, marami siyang
probably crypto or
may crypto or what have you. So sabi niya 5% lang ng wealth mo, investment wealth mo ang ilagay mo doon. Sa akin naman medyo mas malaki-laki yung aking strategy diyan, pero Pero, well, I think in total, pag tinignan mo yung in terms of amount, baka nga ganun ang ratio lang, no? Hindi ko pa nako-compute. Pero sabi niya, 5%, and then don't put more than 25% in one industry. So, one-fourth of your, so hatiin mo sa apat na major industries or diversified. Ako, diversified. May airlines, may tech, may food, may energy, utilities, may retail. So, talagang naghahanap rin ako ng diversification. Sa Philippines, meron din akong bangko. Actually, dito wala akong bangko.
Industry, 25% per
Yeah,
industry.
25%. Huwag kang mag-invest sa isang industry lang, more than
Oh,
25%.
sige.
Para at least kung bumabagsak yun, yung iba tumataas, okay ka pa
Okay.
in total.
Another question, what's your process in staying informed dun sa mga market trends and mga news na ganyan?
Ang ginagamit ko kasi yung umaga ko as a learning time eh. So 5 hours difference natin. So ito umaga sa iyo ito. Pero sa akin nakapag-start na ako ng coffee and everything.
Okay.
Habang nagko-coffee ako, naka-on na yung aking, anything that I'm interested with, either a podcast or news or basketball, NBA, na mga commentaries. So I do not watch, I just listen.
Oh, okay. That's good, ano? At saka marami ng mga strategies kasi may tinatawag na say Google Alert, no? Pwede mong i-set yung mga keywords sa Gmail mo. Google Alert pala na platform. Bawa, keyword is stock market or AI industry. Tapos pag may mga news about that keyword, automatic ini-email ni Google, ano. That's one approach also para you'll stay informed.
Ginagamit mo 'yon?
Ginagamit ko yun. Ang keywords na ginagamit ko is about my industry, digital transformation, business process, ERP, mga ganon. So, I stay, every day nag-i-email sila pag may mga news. Pwede mong iset, kung bawa, Philippines lang, or gusto mo ng global or worldwide, pwede rin. Yun.
Well, that's good Hindi ko pa na pero I think what's good is later on, Gemini will be integrated there that you can actually, pag na-set mo yung requirements mo na yun, keyword, pwede niyang ibigay sa'yo. Dennis, do you want to listen about the news about ERPs today? There's a big issue. Yeah, please tell me.
Very
Kasi si Alexa ganun nagbibigay ng news sa akin. Good morning, Paul. You want to listen to the news today? Sabihin ko, yeah, pero minsan ayoko na. Kasi hinahanap ko yung particular news na gusto ko talaga.
Very aggressive nga ngayon si Google dyan no, sa Gemini. No? Yung interface niya ng particularly yung Gmail, talagang may parang sinasuggest lagi na gamitin si Gemini. No? Talagang
Hindi, tsaka pag nag-search ka, yung Gemini ang unang lumalabas. Nagbibigay siya ng information sa iyo agad. And then may mga links na lang sa doon na maliit na pwede mong buksan.
Yeah. Alam mo yung AI na yan back in mid-90s That's one of the yan sana yung thesis ko noon nung college. May tinatawag na neural networks and yung mga fuzzy logic. Binabasa ko yung libro niyan together with my brother. Pero in the end, hindi ko tinuloy, no? So, ibig sabihin, kung tinuloy ko pala yun, ang dami na nating nagawang produkto ngayon.
Meron kang produkto na AI, Pero ang maganda ngayon about AI is that OpenAI is an open platform.
Correct.
Diba? Yung ChatGPT, meron silang open version, meron silang closed version. Pero yung open platform nila, open version, yun na rin yung kinukuha ng ibang mga developers.
Correct.
Tapos dun sila nagbi-build ng sarili nilang AI.
Yeah. We have actually a prototype on that already with the playground. Yun, feed lang natin ng na parang yung knowledge base niya at information about what we do and yung initially actually yung website pinacrawl. I ask GPT to crawl yung website ni Playground. So yun yung initial data. So the apps that we're currently developing with the Playground ini-integrate na namin si AI. We develop a
Mm.
custom chat bot named Loren, which is the name of our daughter.
Mm.
And yun, so ngayon we're trying to train her. Later on, my vision there is that I'll ask Loren to also, I'll feed her the information, yung mga courses. Later on, yung mga future courses na gagawin natin, I'll feed them there.
Mm.
Probably yung model of how I think, may knowledge base, no? So, pag nagpaalam na ako sa mundo, you can talk
Mm.
to me through Loren.
Galing, ah.
Parang gano'n. That's my idea of utilizing AI, no? Yun.
Mm. Okay yun, ah.
Mm.
Maganda yung ano mo. Ako naman visual yung naisip ko dyan eh. Dahil sabi ko sa mga anak ko, i-develop nyo na yung hologram. Kasi yung hologram, pag may namatay, pwede nyo ibenta yun
Mm.
na pag pumunta ka sa puntod, i-on mo yung hologram, nakikipag-usap ka. Hindi ka
Correct.
nakikipag-usap doon sa bato
Mm.
or sa lupa. Nakikipag-usap
Mm.
ka. Kunyari, sabi ko, i-develop na natin yung hologram, tapos para pag namatay ako, yung hologram ko ang kausap nyo.
Correct,
And
correct.
then imagine if you incorporate that with AI, interactive, parang totoo yung kausap mo.
Yeah, yeah. Kasi ano yan eh, nakakatuwa nga because I'm also a heavy user of of ChatGPT. And I'm a premium user also. And na-notice ko na if you are feeding ChatGPT of yung common things that you talk about, katulad ng playground, my courses, my personal brand, without nag-type ka ng prompt sa ChatGPT ng a new thread, and binention mo for example si playground, alam na niya. Kumbaga, kahit magbukas ng new thread and you talk about the playground, kilala na niya who playground is.
Yes. Oo.
Oo.
Totoo yan. Kaya pag nag-create ka ng isang information, tapos nagtanong ka, tapos idugtong mo lang doon sa thread na yon, mabubuo niya na kagad without you trying to recall that information. Or kahit gawa ka ng bagong thread eh.
Pag
Di ba?
nag-open ka ng new thread o new box, and tinype mo, who's Dennis Hilario, alam na niya.
Kilala niya na kasi nandun na yung info eh.
Correct. But I hope it's only limited to my account. Hindi pa siya public, no? So,
Ganun. Oo nga, no? That's a good question, no?
kasi may data privacy issue dun eh.
Mm-hmm.
But yung my vision is that I can create a public version of that. Yun yung what we're trying to develop at the moment.
Sige.
One other application there is yung analytics, no? Particularly sa business, kasi right now in the market, as you know, may mga business intelligence platform, di ba? So yung tinatawag na BI, katulad nila Jaspersoft, nila Tableau. So this BI platform kasi, the idea is that they consolidate data, in your enterprise or company, and then that provides you a dashboard of your analytics,
Insights.
KPIs, metrics, insights and all that. So the innovation there in terms of AI is that AI can interpret that data, and instead of you reading those insights, you can ask questions to the chatbot about the insights. Like for example, what is my financial position at the moment? Pwede kasing voice din yan eh. Si GPT, meron siyang voice app, di ba?
Yeah.
Actually, minsan pag nagda-drive ako and I'm bored, I talk to GPT. Hey GPT, what's your take about this and that? So without typing, naiintindihan niya. No? So kung meron kang insights custom GPT about your business, you ask for example, what's my financial position now, today, and then your current assets are this much, your inventory turnover is this much, and then you ask, what can I do to improve it? And then GPT
Yun ang maganda.
yes, so those things, I'm sure marami na nag-iisip niyan and nagde-develop niyan. I've talked to some Southeast Asian companies already about this eh. May mga platforms sila na already na ganito yung ginagawa nilang development. So yeah, I'm also looking forward to that. And me myself, I'm really interested in also developing similar products, no, in the future.
Minsan ang dami natin naiisip kasi dami pumapasok lalo na yung mga bago. And then parang hindi mo na alam kung paano mo ilalagay yung energy mo eh. Kung ililipat mo ba yung energy mo doon or
Correct.
resources mo doon. You just really have to trust your instinct eh, no? Kung ano yung
Yeah.
ibabank on mo.
What I do, I think I mentioned this last time in our episode with Jojo, is yung ICE method nga. Lista ko yung mga possible or all the opportunities that I have right now and I'm really interested. And then yung ICE kasi is you score each one of those ideas or opportunities. Iscorean mo 1 to 10. Ano ba yung impact ng bawat isa na to? Impact sa business, business-wise, or impact, satisfaction-wise, no? And then, yung C naman is yung confidence. Iscorean mo isa-isa. What's your confidence level with each of these ideas? And then yung E, yung ease of execution. So, each of these, ano ba yung ease of execution? So, iniscorean ko, actually, I did this yesterday. Iniscorean ko isa-isa. Before tayo nag-meeting, actually, yesterday, no? Kasi nga, napakadami nating ideas and opportunities. So, in a way, nagkaroon ako ng clarity. No, one example is, one of the ideas kasi is that also introducing food sa playground, yung mga healthy food options like salad, steak, and whatnot. And nakita ko doon na yung impact nito is okay, but my confidence level, since I'm not a chef or I'm not really in food business, mababa siya. So in effect, na yung medyo mababa yung score niya. So logically, hindi siya yung dapat kong i-prioritize, no? When I analyze those things, nakita ko nagkaroon ng clarity yung matataas na scores, and doon ako magfo-focus muna, no? Something like that. Kasi
That's
yung
a good productivity concept.
Or tool, no?
Tool.
Yeah. So
Process mo.
anyway, so naiba na tayo ng topic, but related to
That's
AI, any siguro before we wrap up, no, any upcoming trends ba in AI that you know about, or so far yan pa muna yung news
Well,
natin?
ako wala pa kasi because of this disruption, there's really a big issue, no, na parang ang nangyari ngayon, it's a wake up call.
Yeah.
Actually, nag-issue si Donald Trump kahapon ng statement. Sabi niya, this is a wake up call. Imagine mo, nag-pop-up project sila ng Stargate, tapos ang laki-laki ng budget, tapos ginagawa ito ng competitor at smaller budget. What if ito na yung open source na gagamitin? So, mawawala na yung paggamit ng ChatGPT. Ito na lang. So, apektado sila. So, wait and see ngayon. So, pero, it is a wake-up call that mag-shape up naman yung mga malalaking companies na develop their algorithm as well better. And so, na-stop yung excitement into just investing and trusting these large companies, OpenAI, Google, Gemini, and so forth, in developing their AI. Kailangan nilang i-review yung kanilang ginagawa. So,
Right.
At the moment, on hold lahat ng excitement. It's really about looking in the mirror and try to analyze. Looking at the mirror and try to analyze where they fare compared to what's going on outside of America, outside of the United States. But I think what's really important, and we go back to wealth building, stock market. Stock market really is a great opportunity. So, and aside from the stories of bad situations that were example kanina, no, meron namang good examples. So I think it is, before we leave the audience with the note of the sad story of
Nvidia.
this variability in the stock market, and telling them to diversify, let's give them a news also, sample news of the things that had happened before. And one of the stories of that would be for me to look at, ito totoo to nangyari kasi ako ginamit ko to yung COVID-19 vaccine. noong 2020 na nag-announce sila na they're developing a vaccine, 'di ba? Tapos 90% efficacy sila. So, pumili ako noon Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Abbott Laboratories. Sabi ko, sino kaya dito ang gagawa? Tapos sinabi sa news, ito yung mga gumagawa ng vaccine. So, they're hurrying to create the vaccine for COVID. Ang tinayaan ko yung Pfizer. Lumabas siya nga yung pinakamataas na efficacy compared to the others. Well, at start. So, tumaas yung stocks. And I was able to, not much, but I was able to buy it and made money. Kasi binenta pa rin pagkatapos ng COVID. Dahil sabi ko, hindi naman talaga ganun kaganda yung stocks niya before. Up and down lang siya. But this particular story, this particular situation. So, again, in chaos, there is opportunity. Learn how to find that opportunity in chaos. Huwag tayong masyadong doom and gloom or devastated kagad. Lalo na kung nag-i-invest ka sa stock market. There was a time also that nag-tweet si Elon Musk about Dogecoin. Tapos yung Dogecoin, tumaas. Yung crypto na yun, maraming bumili. Tapos bumaba ulit. Pero alam mo yun, as simple as that, may influence sa market. I didn't trust that. And I think Microsoft, when they moved to AI, binili niya or in-integrate niya yung OpenAI, binili niya, nag-invest siya sa OpenAI, and then meron siyang commercial version and then may open version. So Microsoft's stock also went up kasi OpenAI is now part of the Microsoft company.
Okay.
Hindi na siya non-for-profit. So yeah, those news are really important to share so that merong sample yung mga nakikinig sa atin na yun ang mga tignan. Nandun naman, alam naman natin yan, naririnig natin yan. Kaya lang wala lang sa radar natin kasi di natin talaga radar. Pero once na nagsimula ka na, let's say tech industry or what have you, bantayan mo yun. Let's put it in your radar. Just simply typing it, searching, kamusta na kaya yung industriya na to.
Alright. So, yeah, that's akala ko medyo maiksi tayo ngayon kasi wala tayong guest ngayon pero napahaba na rin.
Oo nga no.
Yun, so let's wrap it up, no?
Sige. Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you again for joining us on this episode as we explored the ups and downs of wealth building, no? Through the lens of this particular news, no? Yung Nvidia's stock drop and the rise of DeepSeek AI, no? So, yun, bantayan natin yan kasi mukhang marami pang balita na lalabas dyan Hindi lang ito. No? So, again, this story serves as a powerful reminder of how global innovation and competition can shake up markets and how investors can prepare for and respond to these shifts. So again, if you found this discussion insightful, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, or share this episode with someone who could benefit from it. And I think, nakapila naman na rin yung ating mga nakaline up na yung mga guests natin in the future. I think meron ulit tayo kay Jojo for next week. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next episode.
We'll see you again soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.